It was the happiest day of her life, and it was turned upside down in seconds. Doctors at Freighter saved her life thanks to a coil no wider than this piece of dental floss, really. And it could someday save your life.
That y-axis, what is that label? X in meters, so what does that give?
Things move at a fast pace inside Kirsten Wiesneski's classroom.
And then we have all four of our variables.
As a physics and chemistry teacher at Waukesha North High School, she has her lessons down to a science. But nothing could have prepared her for what happened just 5 months ago, right before summer vacation.
It was a shock. This was completely out of nowhere to us.
Kirsten had just given birth to her second child, and as she sat in her hospital bed, everything seemed fine.
Nothing out of the ordinary with it. Like, I had already been up and about in my hospital room and feeding and snuggling with the baby.
She was FaceTiming with her mom just hours after delivery.
All of a sudden, it felt like somebody took an axe to my head. And the next thing I know, I was unable to make a sentence. Like, I was in my head, I knew what I needed to do. I need to put the baby down. Something's wrong. But I could not figure out how to tell my body to physically do that. I could not move my body.
She was rushed to get a brain scan.
Lo and behold, I find out that I had an aneurysm that burst. They think that this could have been something that I was born with. And it just now, they don't know if it was just the stress from pregnancy or from delivery that it burst.
By the next morning, her pain had subsided, but no amount of medicine could have prepared her for the emotional pressure of emergency brain surgery if she chose to go ahead with it.
My understanding was it would have just kept it bleeding, and then I would have been just basically choosing death. It was the scariest moment of my life when I had to sign my life away, essentially, to the surgeon.
That surgeon used a procedure called coiling. This is a look inside of Kirsten's brain.
So this is where the coils are. And that's where they're sitting. So there's 10 coils in there, and depending on the size and the shape of the aneurysm, you can sometimes just use one. Sometimes you need many coils to repair it.
These coils are deployed into the aneurysm to prevent blood from entering it, so it doesn't burst again.
And the small coil here is what actually goes into the aneurysm.
Dr. Nerva says 1 to 2% of the population actually has an aneurysm.
They just never show any signs or symptoms.
Doctors aren't quite sure exactly what causes an aneurysm to burst, but if they do, there is a 50% chance of survival.
What is our starting position?
Kirsten knows she was fortunate.
I lucked out in all categories.
Kirsten is teaching lessons and learning from them too, that things don't always go as planned. And at home, she savors every moment with her husband, 4-year-old Matt.
Oh, Tierney. Oh, Tierney.
And baby Tierney.
When I'm snuggling our 4-month-old is when it hits me the most a lot of times, just because it's I call her my big brave girl, because we were separated for those 2 weeks, those first 2 weeks of life, where I wasn't able to really hold her and cuddle her, and she still comes right up to me like I'm her mama.
Oh, bless you.
So cute. Well, as you heard, while there are no signs, most people don't know they have an aneurysm, but there are things you can do to lower your risk of them bursting. Don't smoke, eat a healthy diet, watch sugary processed foods, and exercise. So really all things that we should be doing really on a daily basis to live our healthiest and best lives.
When you show that dental floss to show how small these are. Now, are they temporary? Were they there to relieve pressure, or are those hers to keep?
Yeah, they're in there, and they're safe. There's no problem. I asked, is there any side effects or anything she should avoid? You'd think strenuous activity. No, she should live a very robust life with those in there.
It looks like she's got a lot of robust things going on there with a little boy and a beautiful little girl.
Cute.
All right, Mary, thank you.